Hello, welcome back to my channel. This is such a beautiful day. I hope that you are feeling blessed and moisturized and taken care of because we're going to jump into this, okay? This week, I wanted to do something a little different. I wanted to give you the opportunity to get to know me a little bit better, a little bit of my own stories, because a lot of the wisdom that I experience and talk about is always rooted in some form of experiences that I have, or something that I've lived through, or someone who I've talked to who I've actually really taken their wisdom and applied it to different parts of my life. So it's all just very rooted in who I am. So I wanted to take the time out to share a little bit about myself, and so this sermon is going to be a little bit different, but just as good, just as minty, just as real, and just as honest. And so, yeah. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. Like, share, comment, subscribe, all of that stuff. So, yeah. So without further ado, yeah, let's get into it. You would be very surprised at how instrumental you are in your own life, and actually playing a role in you getting into the spaces and around the people who affirm you, because whether you know it or not, unconsciously you are finding yourself around people who really validate you, people who you enjoy spending time around. And it's those people who are the people who will slowly begin to really make you feel comfortable with exploring who you are. And I say that out of nothing but experience. My whole experience has been nothing but me unconsciously finding myself around people who just loved me for who I was and supported me. I was blessed with a mom who really saw who I was at a young age and supported and encouraged me. But at the same time, like, I think about college and I think about all of these moments in my life where I just had the opportunity to truly just spread my wings, and I picked the right group of people to be around just because those were the people who actually validated me, who made me feel seen. And I'm happy that that's a tool and a like in tune moment that I have with myself, but you also have it in you. You'd be surprised at how many of the gut feelings and the reactions that you have about people that you just don't listen to or tune off. Society has ingrained in us to like consistently give everyone a million different opportunities, when it's okay to be like, I don't need this person who just hurt me to be around me. And that is completely fine. It is okay to put yourself before the emotions and the cares of another person. That is healthy, you know? And it's funny when I think back to instruments, because I actually grew up learning the flute, and it made me really like think about those moments in my life as a little kid, because I learned it in elementary school and then I became first chair in middle school and everything. And seeing Lizzo like a few years ago when she really like hit it off mainstream, and it was that moment of seeing her with the flute where I realized that like the flute is such a feminine instrument. It's a powerful instrument, but it's like a feminine instrument because even the way you have to hold it is kind of in a very dainty way. It's silver, it's shiny and everything. And that's part of the reason why I picked it when I was growing up. Like, I had the choice between that and the clarinet. And not only is the flute like really beautiful, also it's kind of phallic. Let's just be real. All the woodwinds are just like, it all just looks like you're sucking dick in different forms and formations, you know? I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. But that was part of the reason as well. Who wanted to play the clarinet? I was like, that's just poor taste, because that's Squidward's instrument. And Squidward, for me at the time, like, now in my opinion, Squidward is a queer icon. Squidward is a queer icon, and Patrick is a himbo icon, and SpongeBob is an ace icon, in my opinion. I just did not want to play Squidward's instrument. Plus, it's just like, it feels just like a very like masculine instrument, in my opinion. And so all of that culminated in me picking the flute instead of the clarinet. But as well, fun memory, because my brothers are 4 and 5 years older than me, I actually have the funniest memory of like, part of the reason why I picked the instrument also was because if you remember during American Pie, I was too young to watch it, but I was old enough to sit in the room while my brothers watched it. And I specifically remember the line of, I can't remember what the girl's name is, but she's just like, and this one time at band camp, I stuck a flute in my pussy. I don't know why. It stuck with me. It stuck with me as a little black trans girl, because I was just like, bitch, that sounds sickening. You know what I mean? Like, that's the gag. But of course, at the time, I hadn't like realized my transness or anything. So at the time, I'm seeing myself as a boy, and I'm sitting here as the first chair amongst like all of these little white girls who are like second, third, and fourth chair, which was actually fucking hysterical to think about, because I was like, look at me and my little black excellent self sitting first chair, just stunting on all the little white girls. But it did not help me make like guy friends. It did not help at all, because on top of it, it was kind of like, it wasn't like clarinets versus the flutes, but it's just like you're sitting in two separate sections. Like, these are the people who you're with, and it's not really like there's a lot to connect with a bunch of little white girls as like a little black trans girl in Camden, New Jersey, and like they're going back to like six-figure homes, and I'm going back to a beautiful, beautiful home, but not a six-figure home, you know? But that's the gag, that's the kiki, and we still thrived, and look at me now. They're probably following me right now. They're probably following me right now. Boop. Yeah. What else? But all of this to say, you'd be so surprised at how much you know yourself, you just don't listen. And you need to be the most instrumental person in your healing, in your growth, in all facets of discovering yourself. And then it shines outward. It all starts within, and then once you begin to truly discover yourself and you truly begin to become comfortable with yourself, that's when you really see the world just begins to open up, because you have no idea what it's like to truly be yourself until you begin to unlearn all of those toxic things and putting yourself on a shelf and all of the different horrible things that society teaches us about ourselves. So really take the time and think back to your past. Think back to growing up as who you are and saying, well, I mean, if this is who I am now, that's who I was back then. And how did all of those things affect me growing up? Because I look back at so many moments, so many different moments of me just wanting to simply like go into the girls' locker room and be like with all of my friends, but like, you know, knowing that that would never literally be a thing that could happen. And realizing that that is a feeling that so many trans girls feel growing up, and that's something that I can connect with people over and actually grow and heal from. Yeah, just keep looking back at things, because you'd be surprised the amount of like band kids who I know now who are trans who are like, oh my god, I'm so happy to be able to connect with you over this, because you are the most instrumental person in your healing. And that's when you can really begin to use all the tools in your toolkit, when you begin to say, oh my god, this is an experience I had. I'm not alone in this. And that's the most beautiful part about healing and getting to know yourself. It is amazing. And the final thing that I will end on is the fact that one of my favorite memories of my entire childhood is the fact that growing up, one of my mom's best friends was a trans woman, and she's so sweet. Her name was Miss Shakina. I was very blessed enough to reconnect with her before she passed away a few years ago, and she is just, it fills my heart with the fact that like she got to know who I was, and I just imagine all of the things that she saw in me, and that she just like, you know, couldn't say just because I didn't have the language for it. I didn't know anything, but you know, like I look at so many kids now who like have the language for who they are and how they identify. And it's so wild to be like, oh my God, you felt the same way I did, but you can actually articulate it now because of like healing. We're all learning more things. Children are being allowed the opportunity to actually have autonomy over who they are and their identities and their bodies, and it makes me so happy. But I think about like how I'm looking at the little kids now, and how she probably was looking down at me saying, oh wow, Junior's gonna be a beautiful woman, and Junior's going to actually get to be who she is at such a younger age. And I'm so happy that I got to know who she was while she was here, because when I tell you, I'm gonna get my mom to like find some photos, but like they were just the best of friends. And the only reason that they like stopped hanging out was just because like we moved after my dad left, so we like went to DC, and Miss Shakina was still in New Jersey. So it's one of those things where I'm so thankful that I got to know her, and that it's so funny how these amazing people are always in your life. And I would have never known that if I hadn't truly like looked back at it, because yes, we knew Miss Shakina was a trans woman, but like it wasn't as if anybody like was like, let's all sit down and talk about it. So truly look back at those people in your life who you really were connected to, and truly think about the impact that they have on you, because you're carrying around the gifts and the blessings that they bestowed upon you, the values, the love, the time, the energy, all of that. Those are all instrumental in your healing and growth. So take that with you and carry that with you, and know that all of those people are people that you carry around with you every day. They all are a piece of who the fuck you are, your beautiful self right now. And just know that if nobody else feels like they're on your side, you know that person always was. There always is one, whether it be a friend, whether it be a teacher, whether it be a mentor, whether it be a stranger on the street who gave you a hug, who gave you $5, whatever it may be. There's there's love here. And if nobody else, bitch, I do. I care. Yep, I'm pointing at you right there. Right there. I care. So, yeah, beautiful story time. I hope that this story touched you. I hope that this reached you. And yeah, you'll get to know a bit more about me as everything opens up. Excited to see how my past will continue to keep informing my future. You know what I mean? Yeah. And also, look at this beautiful shirt. Look at this beautiful shirt. Oh my God, Positive Women. An amazing, amazing friend of mine, Jim, literally found this at a thrift stop and then immediately mailed it to me, and I was like, you know me too well. But yes, I love it, and I just had to show it off because it always makes me feel very strong and powerful. Like, yes, bitch, look at me. But yes, work. So that's that on that. That is our sermon for today. I hope that you connected to something I said. Something I said hopefully brought you some joy, or maybe hopefully just entertain you, you know? I'm just here hoping to connect. So, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for watching the whole thing. Thank you for making it this far. And I hope that you have a beautiful day, and I will catch you in the next beautiful video. Stay your gorgeous self, and I will see you soon. Mwah.